I'm Brenna Fender, and I'm here with Sandy Rogers. And Sandy is the author of Novice and Beyond, a Survival Guide, which is a column in Clean Run magazine. And Sandy has lots of experience in the dog training, dog sports in general. And so, hi, Sandy. It's so good to have you here.
Good morning. Good morning, Brenna.
I want to talk to you today about contacts. This is our back to training party, back to school. And so we know that contacts tend to deteriorate over time. How can we get back to training our contacts?
Contacts deteriorating over time, especially in trialing, happens to everybody, and the contacts have to be maintained. There are lots of reasons that the contacts deteriorate, and I'm working hard on figuring them all out. But for the basics, dogs make pretty much three different mistakes. They either stop early,
okay,
they either go to the bottom and stop and self-release, or they don't stop at all. And I'm specifically talking about 2-on, 2-off performance.
Right.
So your dog is telling you by which one of those mistakes he makes what he needs more help with.
Okay.
So if he's stopping early, what he's learned is once I stop, I'm not supposed to move again. That's actually the concept we wanted.
Right.
So here he stopped because he got distracted. He needs help learning to go to that target, whether it's a nose target or a foot target, no matter what else is happening around him. So that would be his homework.
Okay.
The dog that is not stopping at all, he really needs to go back to basics on the whole enchilada. He needs more stay work, he needs more release work, and he needs more target work.
Okay.
The dog that is stopping but self-releasing is probably getting sloppy release work on a regular basis in regular life.
Okay.
So, for example, his handler tells him sit here and there or down here and there, and then doesn't bother to formally release that position. So he probably needs a general cleanup on his release command as a command all on its own. I like to treat my release as sort of a trick, that when I say that release word, I'm going to get this spring action anywhere, anytime.
Oh, okay. All right. And how do you recommend training that?
Going back to basics with however you trained your target work for the target, but for the release,
right,
what I like to do is release to toys. What this does is it also gets the dog's attention off me. I'm trying to train those contacts independently. So if I'm coming in and paying the dog on the contact, I'm making myself and my position very, very relevant to that performance.
Okay.
If I can release my dog to food or a toy, having something planted like a treat and train, or a lotus ball.
Oh, like here, I have one. So you put your treat inside.
Brenna, Johnny on the spot.
That's right.
So that lotus ball can be tossed or planted.
Right.
For dogs that, the lotus ball has a little bit of a training curve all on its own. So for dogs that like tennis balls, I like to have a tennis ball on a tuggy.
Oh yeah, I have one of those, like that.
Exactly. Exactly. So my
you would
dog
lay
that
this
loves
out
the
there?
tennis ball, I've got control of it. Sorry?
You would lay this out there as a target and have your dog send
lay it or throw it.
Or throw
Yep.
it.
Yep. And, you know, some dogs don't like balls, so they like softer toys. You can use something.
Got like a furry, sheepy thing you could lay out. I don't know if you could throw this one so great, but like.
You can throw it. You can't throw it, but you can sure plant it.
Right. And this one's like really heavy. This has so much going on. I just want to play with this one.
That one's going to be a little bit harder to use in training, but it certainly is wonderful to get puppies loving toys and tugging.
Right.
Got to start somewhere.
That's right. That's right. So you'd leave those out, and then you would train your dog to release to those items. And you would do that separately from your contact work. You wouldn't just start with the thing out there. You would do it at home.
I train stays, releases, and driving to reinforcement off of the contacts, and I want all that training to happen off the contacts, so that when I put it on the contacts, it's simple and it's easy, which for dogs equals fun.
Right.
So, and one point I want to make is I never correct the dog for driving to reinforcement.
Okay.
Even if he does it when I didn't want him to. Because I need that precious magic of I want that thing, I want to get to it. If the dog is going to it when he shouldn't, then there's just more stay work, more training that needs to be done for that dog to grasp that concept.
All right. Now, do you ever consider yourself done with this kind of training? I mean, are you or is this something that you're doing all the time?
My dog tells me, and
Hmm.
usually my dogs tell me that I'm not done. There are other factors going into adrenaline. I like to keep adrenaline in my training. I have specific steps that I do to do that.
Hmm.
So the maintenance is ongoing forever.
Okay.
I don't do my maintenance work in sequence work like I used to many
Mhm.
years ago, and that's like a whole nother subject.
That's right. We can talk
Um,
about it.
yeah. So no, I think my contact behavior is precious. I never consider it done. I'm always tidying it up.
Mhm. So there's
Not like my
always some training to get back to. It's always back to training, back to school all the time.
well
Mhm.
when we're showing, we're
Yeah.
painting a little bit of a different picture for the dogs.
Right.
So during the week, I'm tightening up all my loose links, and
Mhm.
then in the weekend, if those links get weak, I'm ready to do my job. I'm not frustrated by that. That's my job.
Right. Well, that's great information. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brenna. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.